welcome to our session today. We are going to talk about intuition, feeding intuition, cultivating intuition relative to experience and why that's important and what that is. And so again, as we talk about, intuition's job is to bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to go. And one of the key ways to feed or cultivate intuition is through experiences. And so experiences are literally what it sounds like. It's putting yourself in a space or environment where you're having a direct physical experience relative to the outcome result you're looking to create. So if I want to get in great shape, I can't just watch exercise videos. I gotta go for a walk. I gotta run. I gotta move. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta have the experience, right? I gotta do the thing. If I want to build wealth, I have to actually invest. It's one thing to understand investing principles, and you might even, track some investments and play with fake money at first and go, I'm gonna pretend I've got $1,000 and I've invested it here, and then I'm gonna track it over time and imagine, hey, what would have occurred if I actually invested those dollars? But at the end of the day, nothing's gonna replace you actually putting your money on the line, and the experience is very different when you see that $1,000 turn into $2 and you celebrate that. And it's also a very different experience when you lose real money, right? When all of a sudden that $1,000 disappears, you learn that in a very different way. That is a different experience than when Monopoly money goes away, okay? And so the only way you're gonna cultivate the skill set is to have the experience of saving, investing, and going through those motions, right? Taking that action. In relationship, you have to talk to other people. You've got to practice your communication skills. You've got to be vulnerable with somebody, not just, in a corner by yourself, okay? And so regardless of what you're looking to build, right, business skills, you got to actually go for it and have a business at some point, or be in a business with somebody else and understand, what that is day in and day out. And so, yes, some people, they learn a little bit better, listening to information, and some people are more visual learners, and all that kind of stuff is true. But the reality is every human being learns best through experience. That's how our nervous system is wired. That is how we are designed. If we think of children, how do they learn most of their information? They're watching what other people do in their environment and they mimic it, right? Like that is how we're wired to learn, even as we become adults, is to be in the environment, look and watch other people doing the things and mimic them. And so you've got to have the direct experience in order to build the skill set necessary relative to who you want to become and what you want to create in your life. And so, again, how do we optimize experience? Sure, if you want to get in great shape, you could watch a workout video or study the science of working out and follow a workout regimen. But if you hire a trainer, right, and they train you to do the workout and they're teaching you how to move correctly, then you accelerate your progress through experience, because not only you're putting yourself in an environment to have an experience called working out, but you're leveraging an expert to guide you through those workouts to make sure you're executing the moves correctly, as an example, right? And so what are the environments you can put yourself inside of where the exposure itself accelerates the information you're absorbing through experience and moving you toward the outcome that you want to create? When I wanted to get in great shape, I started going to a really, high quality gym where athletes trained, not just the public trained, although there's nothing wrong with going to a gym where the public trained, but it was different when I exposed myself to an environment where everybody around me was a high-level athlete, because I immediately began to absorb what does it look like to train, and what is the mindset, and what is the attitude they bring to the gym in their training, is very different than a club where people are there just trying to lose a few pounds, as an example. Both are great, but those are different environments, different exposures, different training through experience, okay? Same thing, like when I wanted to understand business, I started surrounding myself with entrepreneurs. I put myself in the middle of businesses that was like the business that I wanted to grow and build, and I learned from the individuals running those businesses. I paid attention to them, I asked questions, I volunteered to spend my time around them, and I put myself in the environment of, hey, what is it like to actually run a business and create the outcomes and create the results, and what goes on behind the scenes, and what goes on, when the product or service is delivered, and how do they confront challenges, and how do they work through those challenges, and how do they celebrate, and how do they manage themselves when things aren't going well, and all that kind of stuff. And so you've got to have exposure, right? If all of your friends around you are in relationship and they all fight and hate each other, like you gotta start surrounding yourself with some people who are in relationship who actually love and care for each other and have good relationships, so you can start learning through exposure what good relationship dynamics look like. And that's one of the best way to learn great relationship dynamics is find somebody whom has a really good relationship and they treat each other well and their relationship's doing good, and expose yourself to that. Like invite those people out for couples dinner and like go out there and learn and expose yourself to new environments. And so think about what are the experiences that I can intentionally engage in, and what are the environments I can expose myself to so that I have a direct experience physiologically, neurologically, of those environments that are going to support, again, who I want to become and what I want to create. And at first, those new experiences are going to feel awkward. That's why most people avoid them. It's going to feel unnatural, especially if it's new. And understand that awkward and that unnatural sense, or even feeling like you're like you shouldn't be there, I'm in the wrong place, these are not my people, they probably are your people, right? That is the right space, because we only feel that sense of awkwardness, or we only feel that sense of, discomfort if it is actually very different and unfamiliar. And that often is a good sign that we're actually absorbing new experiences and having new information presented to us, which is going to stimulate growth. And with consistent exposure to any new environment, we're going to get used to it, we're going to normalize it, and we're going to ultimately thrive within it. But we're also going to develop a skill set through that that's going to be necessary and the key to who you want to become and what you want to create. So what are the environments that you can expose yourself to? What are the experiences you can directly engage in that are going to accelerate your progress to the things you want to create in your life? And think about those and look at how can I do that on a regular basis, maybe weekly, maybe daily, maybe monthly, but make a concerted effort to expose yourself to new experiences relative to what you want to create on a consistent basis. Awesome job. Hope you're doing well, and we'll see you in the next session.